to the reality. As I said a moment ago, we are a union of body, we are a union of matter and spirit. When we die, there is the separation. The trauma of death is the separation of us from our bodies. And from that point on, we exist as spirit only. We're no longer a union of matter and spirit. We exist as spirit, which is what? Angelic world. The angels are spirit. Until the end of the world, when there is the general resurrection, when there is the reunion of us and our bodies.
So when we say soul,
Pardon?
is soul the spirit?
Yes. Well, you see, the word soul literally means sort of source of life. When we were little, I think one of the first we started understanding things. And I think one of the first things we understand is there's some things that change and other things that don't change. Like in the spring, little children go out and they notice, the plants grow, the grass grows, but the rocks don't grow. Little rocks don't grow up to be big rocks, do they? Well, there must be something that the plants and the grass have that the rocks don't have, huh? It's what?
Life.
And that is, as we say, the vegetative soul. The vegetative source of life. And then we come to the animals. Well, there's something else, that they are able to perceive things around them. I mean, in many cases, a lot better than we. An eagle's got better eyesight than we do. A dog's got better hearing than we do. A cheetah's faster than we. So in lots and lots of respects, when it comes to the senses, the animals have the senses, but they're superior. But that's all. Whereas with ourselves, we not only grow, we not only have sense knowledge, but we also understand things. We kind of get on the inside of things. By that, what I mean is we understand what makes things work. The animals don't. They don't understand why things work. We abstract. We deal with material things and we abstract from them immaterial realities, which you would call ideas. For example, and these things are not material. Now, if I say to you, green horse, well, you can imagine a green horse, can't you? George, you know green and you know horses. You can put those two together, although there's no such thing. How about calorie? You don't know what a calorie is. Huh? You have an understanding what a calorie is. But there's nothing material about a calorie, like a green horse. I mean, if I say to you, what does a calorie look like? What does it smell like? What does it taste like? What does it feel like? It doesn't answer anything material in that time. But you know what a calorie is. And you know that calories are connected with weight, don't you? And if you start putting on too much weight, what do?
You lose
You
calories.
go on a diet. Because you understand. You're on the inside. Huh? You're on the inside. You're not just on the surface. Dogs like to eat meat. We like to eat meat. But a dog doesn't understand the connection between meat, calories, and getting fat. You will never see a dog go on a diet. So, you see, when we talk about soul, we're talking about life, and there are these gradations. There is the vegetative, there is the animal or the sensitive, and then there is the human, the rational. And the Latin word for soul is anima. Anima. You see why we use the term animated cartoons? You see, before people were using electricity, they used to draw cartoons. They didn't move, did they? But then we get movies, and people figure out how to make a whole bunch of drawings and have them, going like that, and it looks like they are alive. There's life there, and we call it animated cartoons from the Latin word. But anyway, that is what we are. We are a union of matter and spirit, and that means we have the function of intellect and the function of will. Now in the divine nature, and you can't imagine this, there is the divine nature and there is personhood. There is intellect. I mean, we can't have the perfection of intellect and there not be divine intellect, can we? So, and what does intellect produce? Ideas. And there is the idea in the divine nature. What is the idea? Well, what did John call our Lord? The Word was made flesh. In the beginning was the Word. The Word was with God, and the Word was God. Word. What are our words? Those are the expressions of our what? Ideas, huh? And so you see the idea, and the idea is not something. Because when we're talking about divine nature, we're talking about that which is perfect. And so the divine idea is not something. We can have ideas of ourselves, can't we? More or less perfect. Our friends usually can tell us we're perfect, have better, more perfect ideas than we do. In the case of the divine nature, no, it's perfect. It's not something like our cases. It is someone. The Word. See, St. John gives us that term, the Word, that helps us to make the connection between intellect and idea in the divine nature. And there is love. The two persons, the first and second person, and the relationship they have is also love. But unlike our situation, in the divine nature, the love is not something, it is someone, namely the Holy Spirit. If you like to go into a lot more detail, Frank Shee's books, Introduction to Theology or Theology and Sanity, they are the best treatments I've ever seen. Well, I think it's time for us